What do you think motivates your employees to come to work each day? Do you think they get great satisfaction from their work and are motivated to give it their all? Or do you think they see the work as a burden and they're just simply doing the least to get paid the most? Well, rise and shine, leaders. This is Glenn Guyton, keynote speaker and workplace trainer. It is time for our executive coffee break. I've got my beverage in hand. I hope you have yours too. They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your workplace culture and your beverage. Today I'm drinking water. Leadership matters, so you might as well get good at it. Well, this week we have been talking about workplace motivation. What motivates your team? What drives them? What gets the best performance out of the people that you lead? I'm going to put the information from the past episodes in the description. Make sure you check those out. But today we are going to talk about McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y. Now, we're not talking about boys and girls. We're not talking about chromosomes. No, we're talking about workplace behavioral theory. Douglas McGregor's work articulated in The Human Side of Enterprise, and this is from 1960, introduces two contrasting models of workplace motivation. One is Theory X, which is authoritarian, and the other is Theory Y, which is more participative. Yes. Theory X views employees as inherently lazy and needing strict control and coercion. In contrast, Theory Y sees employees as self-motivated and seeking responsibility. McGregor argued that a manager's view of the nature of human beings is based on a certain grouping of assumptions, right? We always assume, we have bias, and that they tend to mold their behavior towards subordinates according to these assumptions. So either you're assuming that your employees are lazy, they don't really want to come to work, you need to whip them in shape, or that they're motivated, they love what they do, and they're trying to do their all and give their best. Now, which one are you? Which camp do you fall? Are you more of an X or are you more of a Y? Let me know. So how do we apply this in the workplace? And I'm going to put a description for McGregor's theory in the description so you can check it out for yourself. You'll have a little bit more information on the theory. But here are 5 things that I want to share with you in regards to applying McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y. First of all, I think we should adopt a Theory Y mindset. We should embrace a positive view of our employees, that they are capable, that they are self-motivated, and that they do seek additional responsibility or growth. Number 2, we should encourage autonomy and empowerment in the workplace. Give employees autonomy over their task and the authority to make decisions within a certain scope, of course. Foster a sense of ownership and responsibility for the roles that they have in the workforce. Number 3, cultivate a trusting environment. Build trust by demonstrating faith in employees' intentions and capabilities, encouraging open communication, and hopefully that will drive innovation. Number 4, focus on development. Invest in training and development opportunities that allow employees to enhance their skills, take on new challenges. Hey, we're going to be Y leaders, not X. We want to be Y leaders. And number 5, we want to tailor our management style. We want to be flexible. Now, there may be some times when we do have to apply more authoritarian type leadership styles. So we may need to be more direct. We may need to be more strict, but we have to be adaptive and flexible as leaders. But I always think that we have to have the mindset that our employees do care, that they're trying to do their best, that they want to increase their level of responsibility. So now all this will all depend on team dynamics and the type of employees that you have. But so should you ever use the X style? Yes, maybe in a crisis or when remediation is needed, In these types of situations, you may have to grab the proverbial bull by the horns. And sometimes you just inherit low skill people and you have to take control and make it work until you can get the right people in the right positions. So some cautions when we think about McGregor's theory, X and Y. Of course, this is an oversimplification. Critics argue that McGregor's dichotomy of, two kinds of people oversimplifies the complexities of human behavior and management practices, ignoring the spectrum of behaviors between these two extremes. There are some days people are motivated, some days people aren't motivated. We aren't consistently A or B. We are A, B, C, D, and E, and everything in between during a work week, a work day, a work year. So keep that in mind. Again, also, McGregor's theory, it does lack an empirical foundation. So the theories are considered more of a philosophical stance on human nature and work rather than having empirical data that's been validated. Also, think about the contextual limitations. The effectiveness of thinking of people and teams as X or Y approaches, well, if we use that mindset, things will vary across different organizational cultures, different industries, and also individual preferences of leadership style. One of the things I always want to caution you is to look at these things through a culturally competent lens. So McGregor's theory X and theory Y doesn't take into account cultural norms, and they can influence preferences for certain management styles from both the leader, the manager, and from the team. For example, theory Y emphasizes autonomy and self-direction. That may resonate more in an individualistic culture like the US, while in more collectivist cultures where hierarchy and structures are valued, the theory Y wouldn't work as well. So know the culture of your people, know the context in which you are operating. So leaders should adapt their management approach to align with the cultural expectations of their team members. Keep that in mind. Now, my challenge for you this week is simple. I want you to think the best about your team. Even if you are in a culture that values more of a authoritarian type style, I want you to value your team and expect the best out of them. In life, I believe that people only rise to the level of our expectations. So if we expect the worst of people, if we expect the worst of our teams, they definitely will meet those expectations. So think the best of your people, your teams, and be flexible in your leadership style. So I'll give you a couple of things to think about today. And again, I'll put the descriptions for the other theories. Just understand we are exploring a number of models of behavioral theory and how it could possibly apply to your workforce. One theory alone is not going to get it done. So we're going to explore 5 theories to get you thinking about how you can apply this in your workplace. What are the pros and cons of each one of these behavioral theories, and which one resonates with me the most as a leader? There's no one size fits all when it comes to leadership. You have to find your own style, but we want to motivate our employees. We want to get the best out of our teams. So thank you for joining me today. And let's not forget the strength and perseverance that it takes to lead with empathy and inclusivity. Better leaders get better results. So to every one of you leading the charge for a more supportive and engaging workplace, I leave you with this. Stay bold, stay inspired, and remember that your actions today shape the culture of tomorrow. My name is Glenn Guyton, and you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Hey, incredible viewers, are you ready to transform your workplace into a haven of respect and productivity? Well, I would encourage you to check out my book, Navigating Microaggressions at Work. This is an essential read for your employee resource groups to help you identify, address, and prevent microaggressions in the workplace, because I want you to foster an environment of inclusion and respect where everyone thrives. Make a choice that leads to a less stressed, high-performing team. The book is available on Amazon.